Hey guys, welcome to Battle Report. It's been a while since I put one of these out, but I've gotten a few games in recently, so wanted to try to put a report together. Trying a little bit of a new format here. Hopefully this will make it easier for me to make these reports, and that way I can get more of them out to you. I apologize for the glare on my glasses, but I gotta be able to see what I'm doing here. Anyways, this is going to be a Kings of War battle report. I'm playing against my son. We're doing 1,000 points in this game. He's got a pretty good grasp of the game at this point though, and he's excited to move up to 2,000 points. So going forward, that's probably what we'll play. As usual, I've brought my Brotherhood army, and he is playing the Herd. He has spent some time playing the Dwarves, and recently switched over to the Herd, and he really likes him, which I'm excited for because I think that's a great army and another one that I would like to build anyway. So here we go. We're going to be playing the scenario Invade. If you're not familiar, Invade is where you get points for all of the units that you have on your opponent's half of the board at the end of the game. So whoever has more points wins the game on their opponent's side. Here's our deployment. He won the roll-off to choose sides, so stuck me with the house there that I had to work around. Moving from left to right on his deployment on the far end of the table. I know that it's pretty cheesy, but that's a Stampede. We're looking at some models to build the actual Stampede unit for him. So I just threw a few things together on the right size base there. Next to that, he has an avatar of the father, which is the big hero character of the Herd. It's like 300 some points, really strong. Next to him, those are two regiments stuck together as a horde of spirit walkers. Lots of attacks. And then behind them is a shaman. And then in the forest on the far right are not long manes, longhorns, I think they're called. They're kind of the elite infantry unit. They're basically the Herd's version of knights. A little bit better armor and some crushing strength. For the Brotherhood, at the bottom of the table, moving left to right, the two unpainted units, to my shame, are foot knights. So those are Order of the Brotherhood on foot. And then next to them is a horde. No, not spearmen. I know they look like spearmen, but they're not spearmen. They're actually martyrs, villain martyrs. That is my favorite unit in this army. They're amazing. And just to give you a heads up, I am putting together I got some figures from Perry Miniatures that I'll be using for knights. The ones that you see not painted there, it was a crap purchase I made on eBay a while back, and I don't want to spend any effort or any paint or anything on these models because they're a mess. So I'm putting some new ones together from Perry, some foot knights. They'll be my new Brotherhood on foot. And I got some, I think it's from Hail Caesar, some Celtic warriors that I'm putting together, and I'll be using those for my martyrs. So hopefully in the next report or two, I'll have those at least put together and start working on painting those as well. Anyways, behind the martyrs, I've got a devoted, and he's got the Martyr's Prayer spell, which is the heal spell, and an inspiring talisman. And so those three units and the devoted behind them is the formation from the Brotherhood, which makes all those units fearless and gives them iron resolve. It's a fantastic formation. I've been using it ever since the formation came out. They nerfed the knights. The knights had a formation in 2018 Clash of Kings that if you took the certain number of knight units, they all got Pathfinder. And then you got a knight hero or a knight character that got Bane Chant. And so it was too much. It was a little too powerful to have a bunch of knights with Pathfinder. So they nerfed that, and in the new one, I haven't tried it yet, but the new formation of knights gives them +1 speed, but there's no Pathfinder and there's no Bane Chant. So I don't know if I'll use that really, to be honest. I might try it out once in a while, but the infantry one is excellent. I'm still using that. Next to the house there, I've got an individual who is an adjutant, basically a standard bearer, and he has the Loot of Insatiable Darkness, or in the case of this miniature, the Drum of Insatiable Darkness. And then on the far right, the knights there are the Order of the Redemption, the elite knights that have regen, and to my knowledge, the only unit in the game that has Inspiring. So they have regen and Inspiring, and of course Thunderous Charge, all that fun stuff. So that's deployment. My son won the roll-off for turn. Actually, no, that's incorrect. I remember I won the roll-off and I gave him first turn because I figured I want to see if I can get some units to move over into his half of the board at the end of the game to score points for Invade. So he took turn 1. And as you can see, he's playing the herd the right way, just charging them forward. Everybody moved up in a line. The Longhorns had to come out of the forest, so they couldn't. Oh, they could march because they had Pathfinder, but the Spirit Walker horde is in their way. And in my move, because he outranges me with all his speed, which I'm not going to be able to get away from entirely, but with my infantry there, I moved back just a couple of inches, and I'm trying to lure him in a little bit further. And you can see my knights on the right hand of the screen. They moved up and turned their facing, and I was sort of hoping that I could lure him out a little bit more and then get flank charges, or at least give him something to think about, and maybe he wouldn't move everything forward. I'm out of range of being charged from his Spirit Walker horde, but the Stampede and the Avatar can definitely reach me. There's nothing I can do about that. They're speed 7 and speed 9, I think, on the Avatar. So that's my turn 1. And true to form, he keeps charging forward. The Stampede charged my knights on the far left, did 10 wounds, but I lucked out on the roll. I've got Inspiring there, and they are fearless because of the formation, so he needed a 7 twice to rout them, and didn't get it. The Avatar likewise did a lot of wounds, did 7, I think he might have done 7 or 8, but I healed 1. And then same thing, didn't get enough for the nerve check to rout them, and they're fearless, so they both bounced back. Spirit Walkers weren't in range to charge, so they just moved up as far as they could, and they're just frothing at the mouth, ready to kill some martyrs. He left his Shaman in the back because that gives his Longhorns back there Inspiring and Bane Chant if they need it. And then his Avatar is very Inspiring, so his units towards the front there have Inspiring and don't need it from the Shaman. So, pretty good movement, because now my knights have a choice to make. I either got to go charge his Longhorns in the pond and get a hindered charge, or if I'm going to try to go circle around behind the Spirit Walkers, well, then he's going to get a flank or a rear charge on me. So that was actually a pretty decent move by him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, because in my turn, my knights went ahead and took the charge on them, and I just rolled well enough that I was able to rout them. The Order of Redemption Knights are a nasty unit. They get 20 attacks, and I don't normally do this, but for some reason in this game I gave them the Brew of Strength as well. So even though they were hindered, I did something like 12 or 14 wounds or something. It was crazy, and really good roll. So that was unfortunate for him, because now I'm turned around and I'm looking at the rear flank of his Spirit Walker horde. Well, my knights on the bottom left, the Foot Knights, didn't accomplish much. They both countercharged the Stampede and the Avatar respectively, but only did a couple of wounds here and there and bounced off. I used my Devoted to use the Martyr's Prayer on the middle unit of knights there, and took a lot of wounds, took 4 wounds off of them, so they're looking healthy again. The unit on the far left is going to go down if somebody sneezes on them. With my Martyrs, I decided rather than waiting for his Spirit Walker horde to charge me, I went ahead and charged him, because if I can do a wound, I take away his Thunderous Charge. And did a couple of wounds, nothing serious, and bounced off. So sorry for the fuzzy picture, but his Spirit Walker horde in the middle there charged my Martyr horde, and didn't do that many wounds. They didn't have the Thunderous Charge or anything, so hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s. I think he did 5 or 6, which is a decent enough hit, but on a a horde of infantry that's fearless. It's not going to do much. The stampede on the far left finished off those knights that were in front of them, and they're turning to face the knights that are coming behind their flanks there, or behind their ranks. And then my other foot knights got a charge again from his avatar, but I had healed some wounds off of them, and they were able to sustain another attack from the avatar, who also doesn't have Thunder's charge now. So we're in a little bit of a stalemate there, which is good for me, because otherwise he'd have the flank of my martyr horde and they'd be done for. Well, as you can see, in my turn, things really start to get nasty for the herd. The knights, sure enough, charge the rear flank of the Spirit Walker horde, and my martyrs charge them in the front again, and that is plenty to get them off the table. So that's unfortunate for him. They didn't get to do much damage this game. But the martyrs and my knights have to turn and face the stampede, and there's still this avatar guy to deal with. I tried charging him again and didn't do anything. But I was able to heal that unit and get them back to full strength because of Martyr's Prayer. Love that spell. It's excellent. It's really made a difference in my army. But anyway, they're still kind of stuck in a stalemate there. So in the herd's turn, they do the right thing and charge my knights and give them a walloping. I love the Stampede. Stampede is a really cool unit. And really, I just got lucky here because he did 11 wounds on them, and they have an 18 nerve, so that puts them well within range of being killed. And he needed that to happen. Unfortunately, as you see, they're still on the board, so he didn't kill them. They inspire themselves, so he had to roll it twice. The first roll he got it, but on the re-roll, I think he rolled a 5. So not enough to kill them, which is really unfortunate for him. I think if he would have got the roll on that kill, then he would have won this game. I don't even think that. He definitely would have won this game. You'll see in a second I end up winning, but even so, it ended very close. But if he would have killed those knights, it would have been his for sure. So now his Stampede is in a bad position because my martyrs are looking right at his flank, and my knights are going to countercharge. Again, the avatar is working on those foot knights there. He's put another 6 wounds on them. So he's doing work, but they're just they're not going away without a fight. And yeah, in my turn, Stampede's gone. Nothing can survive a counter charge of knights and a flank charge of a horde of martyrs. Nothing can survive that. Not likely. So they end up getting killed, and now we're just in a face-off between my martyr horde and the avatar, which probably isn't going to go anywhere. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill him on my own, and he's not going to be able to kill me because I'll just keep regenning and healing. So that's in a bit of a stalemate. But the situation here is now I think this was turn 5, and we're looking at the potentially last turn in turn 6. And it's Invade, and this whole fight has been in my half of the board. So if I'm gonna win, I need to get some units into his half of the board. So when I kill his Stampede with my knights, I turn them around, and I'm hoping that I can get enough movement to get around his shaman, move at the double, which means I have to go around the pond and get into his half of the board, and I'm really not gonna make it. You can also see my adjutant, my standard bearer guy on the far right next to the house. He's charging forward, and he's going to try to get across the half of the board as well. But the rule says you have to be completely in the other half of the board. It can't just be partially. So at this point, I'm starting to think if we don't go to turn 7, if it ends in turn 6, he's going to win unless I can kill that avatar, which is not going to happen. Because he's got the avatar and the shaman that are in my half of the board. So as much as I thought, man, I'm killing all his stuff, he's still looking at a win here. Well, in his turn, he does a smart thing with the shaman, and he puts him right in front of my knights. Of course, my knights can charge him, but then I only go d6 forward if I kill him and run over him. And if I I don't quite have enough room to pivot all the way to the left of the pond, and even if I do, I can only go my regular speed. I can't go at the double because I pivoted, and so I'm not going to be able to get on his half of the board. It was a really fun ending to this game. He was kind of getting a little bit down because a lot of his units had died, but when we started looking at this, it was like, oh man, you might actually win. So I go ahead and I kill his shaman and blow through, but I don't get to the other side. My adjutant is, I think he's with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness, he's 80 points. But wouldn't you know it, my Martyr Horde ate their Wheaties, and I gave them a Bane chant. They charged the Avatar, and they killed him. I really did not expect that to happen. So, lucky dice rolls on my part. He should have killed my knights. He could have killed more of my foot knights earlier in the game if the dice had gone differently. And then I got this lucky roll killing his Avatar at the end. So I win. My knights don't count for any points in the invade. They're not entirely on the other half of the board. But the adjutant, the lone guy with a snare drum, is on the other side, and he's got nothing left on the board. So anyway, it was a close game. It was a fun game, and hopefully next time, like I said, we'll have 2,000 points, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.